Hello! It is I, Commoner Fire, and I'm back! Now, before we start the review proper, some of you may actually be wondering, why are you doing a two-parter again? Well, the website I usually use to watch this stuff had their videos taken down for copyright. So, yeah, that's fun. So I actually had to find an alternate source to watch these two episodes, but I figured out how I'm gonna do it now. I just have to keep checking the website, so hopefully I can get these back on a normal schedule. So, instead of my point by point plot synopsis, I'm gonna start summarizing just so these videos are a little shorter. So basically, episode 8, yeah, it's 8. It's about Leo meeting this rocker guy. They kind of bond just for a minute over his music before the monster attacks. The monster attacks the city, which, by using some kind of loud noise, it makes people go crazy and attack. And so, luckily, since Leo was wearing this guy's headsets, he was unaffected by the monster's attack, but the guy, he was affected by it, had his hand broken. Leo felt bad that he kind of inadvertently caused this guy to break his hand, so he couldn't go to this audition and get signed. They fight the monster. Leo convinces the guy to go to his audition, and the guy doesn't win the audition in the end, but he gets like a slight contract. I'm not exactly sure. They actually have an interesting point because Sella has enhanced hearing. She actually can hear the monster's attacks even while blocking her ears or wearing headsets. So there's this funny bit where she covers herself up in like this scarf and then puts on the headsets and then puts this motorcycle helmet on, so she's completely covered up. And between her and Leo, they break the monster's trumpet weapon and they destroy the monster. Yeah, so that is the last bit of episode 8. I don't know how to feel about it. On one hand, Leo and Daisuke had this cool kind of bromance with each other, which was kind of cool. But on the other hand, it was just kind of filler, and I don't really have that much to say about it, except I actually like that they brought up Sella's super hearing, and it was kind of funny altogether, but yeah, that's really it. Even if I went point by point, I wouldn't have much to say. I mean, it just kind of happens, it's over. So on to episode 9. Well, episode 9 has the Rangers in a dream, and they fight this monster over and over again, and then Sella hears some noise in the real world that kind of makes her lucid dream a little bit, and she's like, wait, we said this all before, and after time goes by, the group realizes, yeah, we have done this before, and then Yamato remembers what they were doing in the real world before the monster came, and apparently Sella has a shark family back in Zhuland that can't really get together all that much, but they meet up for their parents' wedding anniversary, and unfortunately she's stuck in the human world, so she, couldn't be there during this one time where her family really gets together, and Yamato remembers this and searches in his pocket and finds her brooch, which has the holographic picture of her family in it, and it cuts his hand, waking him up from the dream and putting him into the real world. He wakes the others up, and they fight the monster and actually kill it this time. One thing, this was a plant-based monster, so its pollens put them to sleep. It makes me think of Wizard of Oz. I think it's Wizard of Oz, with the poppy fields. And the reason it took the Green Ranger Tusk so long to wake up was he had super smell, so it was more effective on him. They beat him for real using Zhuo Wild. This monster was growing a plant in the bottom of the city that could kind of destroy, like, it would take over, and I think it would release pollens, but I'm not sure. And then, inexplicably, they get a new Zhu cube with a mole, which cut right through the plant. So that was kind of anticlimactic. And then they formed the mecha Zyuohger first. And then I think they formed Zyuohger first and then Zyuo King. Or was that episode 8? I can't remember. I watched them back to back, so they're kind of blurring in my mind. But this monster gets a giant, like, plant holder thing when it's in its giant form, and they use the mold to, like, break the plant, and that's the end of the Megazord fight. They go home, and Yamato spills the beans about Sella's family. She told the others not to, or she told Yamato not to tell the others, so they didn't know she was sad about it. And then everybody's like, oh yeah, we remember you do that back at home. And then it starts becoming interesting, where they're like, okay, Yamato, where are your parents? You know, what are they like? And Yamato's uncle comes in and kind of makes a distraction, so Yamato can leave the room. Making me actually think maybe he ran away, or maybe they died, and that's how he met the Eagle Zhu Man and became Zhuo Eagle a few years later. So, this episode was, once again, to me, I liked it more than episode 8, but it really came off as wasted potential because they kept using the same footage over and over again. And they showed the full Megazord transformation, like the giant Zhuo King Sword going through all 3 cubes and forming it. So it kind of felt like, okay, this is the bottle show. This is the one where we don't have to film that much footage. So I was not really that huge a fan of it, but it was good overall, and left on an interesting note about what happened to Yamato's parents, or what, his background really is. So yeah, those are my thoughts on both episodes. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm trying out a new format I'm trying out this new format of kind of summarizing more, and also I hope to get back, as I said before, to a normal schedule, but unfortunately, Toei and I think it's Toei and maybe Saban has some rights to the Sentai footage. They're really sometimes dicks with copyright, so that makes things a little more difficult. But I hope I will be back soon, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.